Hi everyone, it's Em, otherwise known as Gazette Girly, and either welcome or welcome back to my channel where I mostly talk about zines, which are handmade magazines. So in today's video I'm going to be going over and sharing with you all the zine and what I'm kind of considering a zine, but it's also more like a sort of paper craft thing, but I'm like just bringing it into the video anyway, that I made in April. And you might also be wondering, what about the zines you made in March? Are they going to be in this video as well? Is this going to be like a March and April video? And I'm afraid I didn't actually make any zines in March. I didn't even like purposefully take a break from zine making. I just didn't really get around to making any zines. I was planning out some sort of like zine projects, so that's exciting, and working on other creative endeavors. And I also hosted my first ever like analog vision boarding workshop where I made this vision board, which was really fun. So I was doing like little bits here and there in March, just no zines got made, so I don't have any zines to share with you. But anyway, that all said, let's get on with the video. So you heard me mention I made a sort of zine paper creation, and that is contained within this orange square. So if we open up this square, boom, we've got a little city inside of it. So this is like a sort of paper make your own city craft event I went to at the South Bank Centre as a part of their Creative Endeavours series, which is like a sort of free craft event that they do. I think maybe it's on like the last Wednesday of every month or like every other Wednesday, and they're usually on Wednesday evenings. This one was hosted by Assemblage Collective, and I've been wanting to go to one of their events for the longest of times, and it finally happened, and it did not disappoint. So this whole sort of like workshop was around like sort of looking at what your own city would look like and what cities mean to you, and like a lot of buzzwords that came up with sort of like community, like connections, and just sort of like finding like communities within cities, and like also people sort of talking about how they wanted more third spaces in cities, more green spaces in cities as well, and just like envisioning if you could make your own city, what would it look like? And I thought that was just such a like incredible concept, and this is like something I never thought I would make in my life, and now I have, and it was just so much fun. So within my city we have sort of like the main attraction is this free zine library. Then it's next to these flowers which are sort of meant to symbolize green space, and these are meant to be like bushes, and then we've got like a little coffee shop which is kind of like a third space as well. And then I sort of used like this watercolor painting to create kind of like daytime looking sky. So this is kind of like the daytime's activities. And then as well, a big part of cities are their nightlife. I don't really go out there much anymore, but when I was in my early 20s, I loved going out, and I wanted to sort of pay like a little homage to that. And I know like club culture and sort of like club and bar culture, it's like definitely under attack in cities as well. And I think it's really important like we keep nightlife venues alive, and I feel like as well they're really big aspects in the queer community, and if you're attacking queer people's nightlife and their spaces, and just like encouraging sort of hatred towards queer people through coming through our spaces. So I think that's like a really important topic to address. So obviously we have this to symbolize the dance floor. I don't even drink anymore, but if I'm going on a night out, I will be just dancing the night away. So I really wanted to do a little tribute to that. And this is kind of like, it says welcome folky, like everyone is welcome here. And we've got like this really cute little sort of like bar sketch as well. So I wanted to include that in. This is meant to symbolize the moon, and then we've got like this little accordion instrument down here to like symbolize the sort of live bands and like live music venues as well that I'd want to include. And then I found this really cool tiled pattern that I wanted to use for the floor, and then I thought it'd be fun just to create like a little river running through the city. And originally I wanted this material to be a bridge, but it just wasn't sticking down like a bridge, so I turned it into a boat so people can like get a little boat through the city. So yeah, this is the first sort of zine-esque paper art thing I made in April. The actual zine I made in April is this one here, and as I mentioned, I had some time off zine making over March, so this I made at a workshop I co-facilitated with my friend Justin, and I just wanted to make a zine about zines. So this is called Zines, and I found these sort of like words in like an art brochure, and these are kind of like topics I like the idea of making zines about. So we've got music, dance, poetry, theatre, And then it opens up to this page, and I wrote, a zine can be anything. They are mini universes created from paper, images, words, and research. And then I just kind of cut up this fruit and kind of made it look like it was in a fruit bowl and stuff. I don't really know why, I just wanted that there as an image. And then here it's simple, it just says make zines. And then the next page says make it, even if it's bad, with a little self-portrait, because I always preach that you should just make bad art. But even sometimes I get in my own head, and if a zine doesn't sort of like, if I haven't like executed the idea I've had for a zine in my head, I still feel a bit like really annoyed about it. So I'm still even unlearning that. So I had to remind myself to make it even if it's bad, because a bad zine is better than no zine. And then here I wrote, we need print, pretty self-explanatory. Print has been dying out for ages with the rise of digital, and I feel like we're living in an era where we're really craving like physical, tactile objects that we can engage with, and that includes print media. And also I feel like zines are just an incredible way to like access information and like hear and read about people's lived experiences, to like kind of develop empathy and like develop learning from like other people's lived experiences. So yeah, why we need print, and print's important, we should keep it going. And then here I just again wrote like a list of zines I want to make. So we've got a dance zine, a poetry zine, a street and fashion photo zine, Road and Affirmations free. I have a little zine series called Road and Affirmations going. I've made the first 2 zines, the third one's going to be on the way soon. And then the next Gazette for the Girls issue, which is going to be the advocacy issue. So if you want to have a little scratch in your brains about how you want to link advocacy to girlhood, come up with something before the official submissions are announced. That's your little treat for watching this video. And then on the back I just wrote, I heart zines, in this sort of like fun little pull out format. And then we've got a mini zine here all the way at the bottom, and it says teeny zine, I love making zines. So yeah, that is the zine I made in April. So this video is short and sweet because I just haven't made loads of zines this month, but again, thank you so much for watching, and feel free to comment any zines you've made down below in the comments, and have a magical rest of your day.